Session 479, deleted. Good evening. Now, while the emphasis in our last sessions has been mainly on Ruber's condition, there is a definite overall general application, and this portion of the material will someday be used, though not verbatim, in a book having to do with my ideas on health. Now, it is true that two individuals in particular who have left physical reality have been trying to help Ruber, particularly in the dream state. These two initially were contacted by Edwards. They carry on conversations with Ruber and on an entirely different level than the normal conscious one. They attempt to straighten out his basic ideas. They also give directions for him to his own supra-conscious, so that suitable physical adjustments may follow. It will help if Ruber remembers this fact, and thus remind himself that he is indeed being aided, although the work is not being done for him. If he reminds himself, then he will have memory of some of these encounters, and this will be of help. The word exuberant is a good one for him to use. He should create the feeling within himself, and it will be physically materialized. The added monthly count on his part was the offshoot of the work he has done thinking of abundance. Granted, the effects were not large, but they were definite. He did not over-concentrate, you see. He sent out the thoughts with full confidence, but in almost a playful manner, thinking merely of actual money. He did not think of what he lacked, but of what he wanted, and this is what must be done in the health work. His dental appointment today in a way amounted to the same thing. He wanted brilliant teeth for the visit of your friend, Tom Musman, and he gave a quick but direct message when he made the phone call, that an appointment would be available before your friend arrived. Rob noted, 10 arrives this weekend, May 2nd. When 10 comes, my teeth will be cleaned. No matter what she says, there will be an appointment for me this week. Tell him that again. Easy does it. The imagination is all important. Even be ridiculous with the use of the imagination. Have him imagine, for example, pillow fights with you, or wrestling on the floor with you. Now, it is extremely important that his conscious attention be elsewhere after he has given his suggestions. I suggest the following, that he works at his writing certainly no less than 4 hours a day, preferably 5, and that a portion of this time be given to poetry. This will effectively have him concentrate his attention where it belongs, while the inner self follows through on the suggestion where he has given. Now, this is a necessity. The psycho-cybernetics for at least 15 minutes, no more than a half hour, in which time he allows his imagination full imaginative play, positive play, where he is writing well, enjoying his body, where his pursuits are succeeding. He does very well at this, but during this time have him concentrate on the imagination, and not give conscious suggestions to himself, for he then becomes too heavy-handed. The prayer series should be continued. In this period, let the conscious suggestions be given with emotion and feeling, and then have him forget all about them. He does not need to give himself conscious suggestions every 15 minutes. This is too much like clock watching. The before-bed suggestions, given lightly and with feeling, are fine. He has done better in that area. Again, any signs of progress should be encouraged, noticed, and concentrated upon. Now, this is the plan that I recommend. You have already sold a painting and will learn of it shortly. Now, give us a moment. Your feelings toward the parking lot have gone out from you and from others to bring the proceeding edit to a temporary halt. Your landlord is extremely suggestible, and your own feelings fall on fertile ground, the ground of his misgivings. I believe that the garage will be torn down to provide extra parking in any case. The doctor's garage. The affair is highly plastic at this time. There is a good possibility that your land will not be touched. There is also a good possibility that your Dr. Levin and another doctor or dentist will combine their finances and share the lot on the other corner. There may also be an arrangement where Dr. Stamp's garage is torn down, and the two driveways combined into a small parking area. At this time, however, conditions are very plastic. Rob asked, "How about the deal for the house itself?" Seth said, "Give us a moment, a period of time where the issue is uncertain on both the part of your present landlord and your prospective buyer." Rob noted Florence, who was once an ESP student of Jane's. Seth said, "This, again because of the psychic conditions involved, is highly plastic. The woman wants the house badly. She is stronger because of this desire at this time." Rob asked, "Did she know about the parking lot?" Seth said, "On the other hand, her lawyer may say something to your landlord that will make him make an angry retort that will then cause the buyer to hold off. She may not buy, believing that a parking area will be set up to drive off the sort of tenants she wants, and then, after this prescribed time of contract, the parking area itself may well fall through, as I told you. These are the probabilities now, in which case your landlord will still own the property, and it will be relatively unchanged. There was deception in the terms of half-truths, not completely explained, in answer to your question. The truth was stated in such a way that its implications were not understood." Now you may take your break. Put in the letters PAL here. I do not know if this has to do with the house situation or to your painting. When more comes on this, I will give it to you. Now, your expectations are initially emotional. Leopold said, "Their force is dependent upon their intensity. When enough of these in a given area congregate together, a strong field of activity and attraction is formed, a highly plastic first draft or underpainting model for future events of physical reality. As this field is further activated through imagination, emotion, and expectation, it becomes more highly charged and attracts to it those elements which it needs to give dimension to those elements already present in the basic version. Do you see? Rob said, yes. Once begun, it contains its own motive power then, revealing those elements that do not fit in with its sense of unity, and attracting those that do. All of this goes on before any event appears in physical terms, in the same way that much creative activity goes on hidden in your mind, behind each movement of your hand as you apply paint with a brush to a painting. You see the color and the brush strokes, but you do not see the inner workings that led you to produce those particular brush strokes. You know they are there, the inner meanings, but you do not see them in physical terms. You see instead their effects in the color, the brush strokes, and the painting. Now, you give yourself conscious direction by taking it for granted that you paint well, by trying to see the completed painting in your mind. This is the function of the conscious self, to use the emotions and expectations to bring about a desired result. You then let the motive power waiting take over, but you do not try to bully it. If your conscious mind is to be a foreman, he must be one who is easy to get along with, and not so authoritative that he is yelling demands all the time. He is to be a gentle director and not a bully. He is only a bully when he suspects that his subordinates are in rebellion. The inner self is not a subordinate to begin with. It is the power that has been given to you as an identity. It serves available to you. That is, available to your present personality for its use. It does what you want it to do, in other words, but it still contains abilities of which you have little knowledge, and the source of information that belong to the entire entity of which you are but a part. It is a protector. It will even protect you despite your own wishes, keeping the physical system going, for example. It is your contact with all that is, but it is up to the conscious mind of the present individual as to how much its abilities will be used and in what manner. The present individual is to learn. The inner self therefore does not overstep the boundaries of the ego, go against the ego's wishes, or try to force the ego. It is up to the ego to learn how to use these vast potentials that lie within the inner self, how to use them to help itself and others. If the inner self took over completely, therefore the present personality would not learn on its own. The inner self does offer advice, intuitional help, inspiration, all of these things, but it does not force the ego to accept them. When the ego is using its abilities in an unfortunate manner, the inner self sets up warning systems, sometimes even bringing the physical organism to a physical or symbolic halt to prevent the ego from doing further damage through misdirection. Through these maneuvers, the inner self does teach the ego the proper use of these inner potentials. The inner self literally carries the ego and provides life sustenance. Now, you may take your break. The sale of the painting has already taken place within inner reality. I am not sure here. I believe a 3-week period may be involved before the actualization. But an individual has already decided to buy, and 2 will be bought shortly, one by a man and one by a woman. Imagine vividly an empty space on the wall in place of any painting now hanging there that you wish to sell. Imagine yourself wondering what to put there now that the painting has sold. See yourself discussing this with Ruber. Now, imagine someone asking you if you have sold any paintings lately. See and hear yourself telling them that you are selling more paintings than you ever believed possible. See an envelope marked with painting money and see it stuffed full of painting money that you have received from your paintings. Imagine how you will spend it. Think how thankful you are to have such a talent. This is most important. Never think that perhaps you would be better off without it, or that it presents more difficulties than those encountered by other men. Be thankful for the talent. Be thankful that others appreciate it. See how natural it is that it should be appreciated. Think in terms of the intuitional help your painting gives to others. Be careful of the suggestion. I will sell all the paintings that I want to sell. For you are setting up conditions and limitations. Either say, I will sell all my paintings, or I will sell these paintings. Referring to specific needs. Do you understand the difference? Rob said, yes. Seth said, give us a moment. Do not say so and so will buy such and such a painting. He has the money. If there is any touch of accusation in the statement, he has money. Do you follow me? Rob said, yes, but I don't believe I do that. Seth said, now, do you have any questions? Rob said, no, I guess not. Seth said, the feeling of freedom on both of your parts has increased. Do not overwhelm yourself with suggestions before sleep. But it is a very good time to give yourself suggestions concerning your painting in terms of creative intuitions to help you use your abilities. Rob said, yes. Why haven't I put the ad in the paper about selling my paintings? Seth said, why did you not? Rob said, yes. Seth mentioned this recently. Seth said, for several reasons, give us a moment. You do not like to advertise. You feel that people should come to you. This is a method, however, to bring them to you, and a legitimate way of gaining attention. You have held off, also negatively, not wanting strangers to come and disrupt you. Buyers, however, will help your ability and not hinder it, and make it possible for you to devote your energies to your work. There is some connection here that you can easily dislodge, having to do with your father's reluctance to sell his photographs, his attitude, and his reaction to clients when they entered the house. You have remarked that your mother did his selling for him, or he would not have done it. These, again, have no power over you if you counter them with positive suggestions. There are some other reasons, and I will discuss them with you at our next session. An understanding of them will be of benefit. You must share your talent. That is why you have it. Underline that. Now, you may take a break or end the session as you prefer. Rob said, we'll end it then. Seth said, my heartiest Good wishes to you both, and a fond good evening. Rob said, "Good night, Seth, and thank you very much.